Folks, we're live. Finally. We're here with Cagematch Chronicles, Big Van Vader. We'll be covering 5 matches from the Big Van Vader's career in pretty good detail, I would say. I have 4.5 thousand words written down, or typed down, I guess. Khalid, how are you doing, brother?
I'm excited. I'm a little tired. I stayed up last night, but I'm excited to talk about some damn Vader.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Omar has it correct. It's time. It's Vader time. That's extremely true. Late Night Grin, locked in. Lambo, locked in. Marcos, hello, you beautiful man. I guess we'll get right into it. I guess we don't really have shit to talk about. I guess on a day that the timeline is lamenting the creative struggles of All Elite Wrestling, we're here to talk about some Big Van Vader, and it feels fucking awesome. You know what I mean? We don't have to talk about the Grizzly Young Veterans being a wasted signing so far. That's true. Very large, as we'll talk about. All right, very quickly, I have a little rundown of Vader's career before we catch up with him in 92, I believe. Yes, 92. So, Leon Allen White, also known as Big Van Vader, also known as Super Vader, got to start in the AWA under Vern Gagne in 1985, that is, not 1885. And it is here where he learned the ropes from guys like Stan Hansen and King Kong Brody, also known as Bruiser Brody, which may have had an effect on how he wrestled, because those guys beat the fuck out of him and didn't sell anything that he gave them, which, again, like I said, possibly had an effect on how he hit people later on in his career, contrary to how he would talk about it. It was here in the AWA that Masa Saito saw a young Leon White and decided that he would pitch him for a gimmick that Antonio Inoki was working on, a gimmick for the next big-time foreign heel based on an ancient Japanese warrior. He would come out with a helmet that took inspiration from Japanese armor that almost had like a cyberpunk edge to it, and he would be known as Vader. I would like to note that there is no real proof for this ancient warrior lore, and it could have been entirely possible that they just made that up because they didn't want to be sued by George Lucas in the Star Wars franchise for using the name Vader. Marcos, fuck off. Not during the intro, bro. I would assume Saito had seen Vader in like 86 because that's the only time their cage matches line up. This would have also been around the time that Masa Saito was on trial for beating the fuck out of some cops with Ken Patera. That's so beast. They were 2 hours late for their hearing because they were drinking beers with their lawyers. Wrestlers fucking rock. Okay. Anyways, he would pitch Leon for the gimmick, and Inoki would bring Vader in for it in 1987, which was then followed by the legendary squash match versus Inoki, and Big Van Vader was born. Over the next couple of years, Vader would continue working in New Japan and would begin working in WCW in 1990. This would remain until 92, where our coverage begins. Hell yeah. Very quickly, if I sound sick, it's because I am. I've had a rough couple of days, folks. So if my voice is annoying, I apologize deeply. To start us off, Khalid.
Yo.
Where did I'm not fucking around, this is ripped straight from the fucking Grin Grappler script, but I like the idea.
Yeah.
Also, to be clear, we have stuff that will differentiate us from Grin Grappler. It's coming next month. Don't worry. Where did your Big Van Vader fandom begin? When was the first time you saw him?
So, the year is, I think it's like late 2011, early 2012. I'm obviously avid gamer. WWE decides to release a game called WWE 12. This is after their SmackDown versus Raw, series. They decided to move on to just WWE 12. And in this game, they had a story mode-esque type of game mode. And in this game mode, you play as Triple H, Sheamus, and then your own created character, who's actually modeled after Austin Aries, which is very funny. Very hilarious. But in this game, when you're playing as a created character, the storyline you take is Kevin Nash comes back for some fucking reason. He brings like 4 people from WCW back. It's Arn Anderson, Booker T. I believe it's Hawk. I believe it is Hawk. And then the
Road Warrior Hawk.
Yeah, Road Warrior Hawk. And then the last man is Big Van Vader. And
baby.
The first time you see Vader, believe you're having a match with John Cena. Vader and Booker T comes out. They interfere with your match. They beat up John Cena. Booker T sets him up right in front of the fucking turnbuckle, or at the top. The turnbuckle, the corner. Vader, big ass, gets up there in a backward stance, like he's going for a moonsault. He does, for the first time I've ever seen in ever, even though it wasn't a video game, I see a fucking Vader saw, and I was like, okay, this guy is the real deal. At the
true.
How old was I? I was like 9 or 10 at the time. I was like, yeah, Vader. I was in the house. I was going like this all over the damn house. All right. I was like, yeah, mother. Yeah, it's fucking Vader. It's fucking Vader. But yeah, that was my introduction to Vader. Obviously, I got older, got unauthorized use on the internet.
True.
I went places. All right. And he's a man. He's a man. He's a man.
He very much is. For me, I tracked it down to the exact day because it's a very big day.
Okay.
I saw Vader June 11th, 2012. He had a squash match versus Heath Slater on Raw.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. It
was the lead up to Raw 1000 when they were doing all the legend stuff.
They were doing all the legends, yeah.
With Heath Slater. And I found out, apparently, Heath wasn't always intended to be the one guy doing it. It was supposed to be like different guys every week. And then Heath went to Vince and was like, just let me get squashed by all of them. And Vince was like, you're willing to do that? And he was like, fucking yeah, man. I get to wrestle Vader and Doink and Animal and Sid Vicious. Fuck yeah, man. That's sick. But yeah, I saw Vader and he was squashing some annoying fucker on TV, and it was sick. And then later that year, I'm pretty sure, I was super locked in on WWE 13. So it's like the year after you got into Vader. And I was so locked in. I was like hyped for the roster reveal at like an event they did. So I was watching it. And obviously I was like a huge CM Punk fan at the time. I still am. Looking at my screen, you can tell. But yeah. And so yeah. Vader's fucking appearance on Raw got me into him, and then he was on the roster for W13. I was like losing my mind when he got on the Raw, or he was like in the roster reveal. And then at that point, I was like, I knew of him, I was a fan, and then I wasn't like watching any old stuff, so I didn't like my fandom didn't really go anywhere from there. I just thought he was cool. But then I saw the Ospreay stuff, and obviously at the time I was like, I would have been like 16. So I was like, who the fuck is this guy? What does he know? Turns out he was right. I fucking hate that match that he was talking about. He fucking hated Ricochet and Vader, or Ricochet and Ospreay. Agree. He was right. And then like since all that stuff happened, obviously there was like the pandemic. Over the pandemic is when I really like locked in on All Japan Vader, WCW Vader, and I was like, this guy. Oh baby. What's funny is like when I started to like go back and watch Vader, I started with the WWF stuff because I wasn't aware. Big mistake. But then yeah, once I locked in on like early 90s Vader in WCW and then late 90s Vader in All Japan, Mr. Brother. The guy's the real deal. We catch up with Vader June 26th, 1992. Big Van Vader and Crusher Bam Bam Bigelow versus the Steiners for the IWGP Tag Team titles. It's a relatively famous match, but one match that I fucking love. Had you seen this match before? No,
I haven't seen none of these matches. Actually,
really?
No, I've seen the Sting one, of course, because I'm a Sting fan. Yeah.
Pre-match, Bam Bam and Vader just start running the ropes together, like back and forth, crisscross. Real fucking meathead shit. The crowd goes crazy for it.
Oh man.
They go crazy for the introductions as well. They're very into these fucking guys. For some reason, they even pop for like Vader flexes and he goes like multiple times, and they lose their shit. They fucking love it. It's very clear that Vader and Bam Bam are supposed to be like the bad guys. They start like raking the eyes and double teaming without tagging in and all that stuff. But the crowd doesn't give a fuck. Every person in this match gets cheered, rightfully so. Well, anyways, the match starts. Yeah, the match starts. Bam Bam starts working with both the Steiners, but very soon after Vader gets in, this is where we get our first encounter with what the Lapsed fan called the Ada blows, because as he does in the match, he gets Rick in the corner, and he starts piecing him up, and every time he goes Ada, 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 every single time. It's kind of sick. Marcos is updating us as he's in the freezer at work eating grapes.
Fire.
As a dedicated fan.
Dedicated.
If you guys aren't at work in the freezer eating grapes to watch the Grabs podcast, to watch the first episode of Cagematch Chronicles, get fucked, I guess. At one point during this portion, Rick gets the upper hand, and he sends Vader over the top rope. And while he's down there, there's like a fucking massive Vader chant the entire arena. It's crazy because like, huh?
Wow.
Anyways, sorry. Like this is like 5 years after the Inoki squash match, you know? And after the Inoki squash match, it was in Sumo Hall, by the way. The fans lit their seat cushions on fire and threw them into the ring because they didn't want Inoki to lose like that.
Ooh.
So 5 years later, they're like chanting for his comeback. It's kind of wild.
Insane.
That's real professional wrestling growth, I guess. Scott messes up a dive from the top. Scott Steiner, obviously, and grabs him. And then Vader, that is. And Scott shoots Vader against the ropes and tries to do like a monkey flip. Yeah. But then Vader jumps and sits on top of him.
Yeah.
And it looked fucking
It looked fucking
and like it was like right on his diaphragm, and Scott was in the like utmost agony, and he's like very clear anguish, and Vader's like leaning against the ropes, like trying to run on the ropes, and Scott is on his stomach, and Vader goes, Steiner! Splash! He's like calling for a splash. It's so funny. Like he does it it was so loud. It's fucking hilarious. He's like on the verge of death.
Oh my god.
A bit later, Vader hits Scott with a big lariat, and for some reason, got really mad and yelled at the crowd, "This son of a bitch is through." That's like right before he hits a Vader bomb, and it's just like all on Scott's left shoulder. It's all of it, entire body weight. I would have been fucking incapacitated for hours. Dude, they take this like incredible camera shot where like it's like from the crowd.
Dude,
it's so sick. Yeah. I love. They did a similar shot in one of the Bobby Eaton Flair matches in like '85, where it's like right at the corner post. God, it's so sick, dude. I love shots from like the crowd's perspective. They do another one in a match later on that is also fucking sick. During the heat segment on Scott, Bam Bam throws him out of the ring, and Vader walks up to him, and the crowd's like waiting with bated breath for Vader to just fuck him up. And all he does is throw him in the ring, and of course they all pop because he's just over like crazy. Vader takes a Frankensteiner and just lands fucking directly on his head.
Bro, where did okay, hold on. I just have to say, like, it never processed in my brain. The move is called the Frankensteiner. As I was typing, bro, Vader just took the nastiest Frankensteiner from. I stopped at from, and I said, "Oh my fucking god!" And then I googled it. I realized that Scott made the move, and I was like, "Damn,
yeah, man,
that shit." Because like, you wouldn't expect someone to make like that move. Like you wouldn't look at Scott and be like, "Damn, he made that." Like that's crazy. But when he did it right here, I thought,
bro, he landed directly on his neck.
Thought he broke his fucking neck. I was like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Oh my goodness. That
Like
shit looked
the
so
entirety of his body weight
Yeah.
directly on his neck. Okay, listen. I don't want to glorify a transphobe. But Rick's hot tag.
Oh
it was short-lived, but he was fucking flying, dude. Flying. Why do all the good guys have to be such assholes? And again, to end off my portion of the match, Bam Bam looks fucking incredible in this match. He's like, I think this might be like his athletic peak. I think
it might.
He's
Yeah,
like,
it might.
He's like doing fucking enziguris and like front flip sentons, and he's hitting the ropes so fluidly. He looks fucking awesome. The finish is like super quick. Like,
yeah,
it's like directly after Rick's hot tag, and I think it's just like Frankensteiner. I think, right?
I think so.
I don't know. Yeah, this fucking match is sick. I found it. I edited this match like a couple months ago. It was longer than that. Last year or sometime, I think. But yeah, it's fucking sweet. This is one of 2 tag matches I think we see Vader in tonight. Pretty sure. Today, I guess it's 1:23 in the afternoon for me. So yeah, Khalid, what did you like about the match? How'd you feel about it?
The finish of the match, it was a belly to belly. He did the belly to belly.
That's what it was. Not Frankensteiner, right?
It was the belly. It was the belly to belly, and Scott prevented Vader from breaking the pin.
Right.
So, you know, in this, as I like to be on Cagematch, obviously, I noticed that this is like the only time these 4 men have like ever wrestled each other in a tag team match. So it's kind of a dream match. It probably was a dream match at the time. Like the Steiners, they were Rick had started in 85, Scott had started in 87. So they're like 5 to 7 years into their career. So this is like relatively like they're relatively still, you know, starting up. And they're like beasts here, obviously. And then, you know, Bam Bam, like you said, Bam Bam was like this little like athletic peak for Bam Bam.
Yeah.
When the match started, he's fucking Muhammad Ali around the ring. Like, I was like, oh
yeah, he is, bro.
I was like,
holy, the feet thing.
Yeah, I was like, holy, dude has quick feet. I fucking paused the match and I put it in 2 times speed. Lord have mercy. Like thank God he wasn't any quicker. It would have been actually frightening. But yeah, man, this match, like, just a excellent like powerhouse showcase, and it's also fun because there's different versions of powerhouse in this match. You have the super big guy that moves in ways that he shouldn't move, which is Bam Bam. Then you have the brawler, which is Vader, and then you have the 2 beef heads, which is Scott and Rick. Scott being the one that can do like fucking Frankensteiners and likes to you know do splashes and stuff, and then you have Rick who's like suplexes, just actual fucking
ultimate meathead.
Yeah, ultimate meathead. Like every meathead after this point is probably modeled after at least one of these, but probably Rick. Probably Rick, but at least one of these men they're modeled after, and is like you can really see the influence, like even now from probably just this match or you know anything from this time period from all 4 of these men. It's great. I mean, you talked about like a lot of spots in this match that like I also like wrote in mine. The Frankensteiner, the fucking the top rope botch that Scott did. They cleaned it up pretty fast. And that shit where he fucking sat on his chest was fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It was fucking insane. And then the crowd, the crowd, like obviously Vader and Bam Bam, they had the tag titles right here. They had the IWGP tag titles right here. And they beat I want to say they beat Chono and someone else. They beat Chono and Hashimoto, I think, for the titles. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
Sounds correct.
But every time Vader or Bam Bam they get knocked down, the crowd fucking just
they lose their mind.
It was like just insane pops every time Vader and Bam Bam were getting like just pummeled or beaten any way. And then also like when it came to specifically Scott, I know Rick had to come the hot tag at the end, but it was a little short. But for Scott in particular, whenever Scott would get a comeback, oh my goodness! Like again, the crowd, just like fucking beat this guy's ass! Like holy shit, get up, fucking get up! It's like like we're definitely gonna talk about like because there's Vader is like a big man that has probably one of the only big men that has perfected both sides of the comeback, being the person being being the opponent in the comeback, and then also being the person doing the comeback. He can do both. It is one of the only big men that can do it, and it makes you actually feel something. You're actually like, holy shit, like it actually works. There's other people who do comebacks, and you're like, like what the fuck? But Vader, it's like, yo, this is the stuff I live for. Right
it's like we'll talk about it later, obviously.
Yeah,
but like the Takada match. Really, it doesn't make sense. Like, he shouldn't be grappling with a guy of that size. Both, I guess. Like, Vader shouldn't be grappling with a guy of that size. But we'll talk about it. It makes sense. Yeah, just the way they fucking God, the match is so fucking good. Anyways,
the way they do it. But this match right here, like, this is the fact that it's a tag team match. I'm a tag team merchant. I'm like very tag team biased. So like this match, it just really did it for me. He took his mask off like midway through the match. I was like, holy shit.
He takes his mask off in every one of these fucking matches.
Yeah.
I had to look up. Did Vader like his mask? Because like he takes it off in most of his matches.
Yeah.
It kind of rules to an extent, but also like, why wear it?
I was personally confused because my vision of Vader is that he always wrestled with the mask. So I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I like obviously I know the time where he didn't wrestle, but I thought the times where he didn't wrestle with the mask, he just wasn't wearing it. But turns out he's just taking his mask off in the middle of the
like he either comes out with it on and then takes it off before the match starts, or he takes it off mid-match.
Yeah,
one of the matches I get it because he's like bleeding, but outside of that, I was like, what the fuck? Marcus in the chat, I fucking love playing Vader in WWE 12.
It was a beast.
I remember I did have WWE 12. I remember playing as Sin Cara a lot in that game because I like the lighting. I don't remember Vader being in it though. I don't know why. I remember in 13.
Yeah, because like in order to unlock Vader, you had to go through the entire story, and then I believe you had to do certain stuff in that last part where you're playing as your created character to even get Vader. And it was
what I was doing, I guess. I was doing story. I was doing some other shit.
Yeah, it was
this tag team match, I believe, was 2 weeks before Vader would jump ship to the UWFI, which we'll get to. But before then, just a few weeks after the Steiner's tag, Vader would face Sting at the Great American Bash on the 11th of July, 1992. Excuse me. So Vader makes his way to the ring, and Harley Race, that is, just completely forgets to open the curtain for him. And because he's got you got the big ass helmet on, so and then right when the camera cuts to him, he's like scrambling to turn around fast enough to open the fucking curtain, and Vader just goes "fuck off" and like opens it. It was so funny. Vader tries to hype the crowd because the helmet's like blowing smoke and shit, and they just don't give a singular fuck. They just fucking sit there on their hands until the fucking stinger comes out, and of course they go insane. The ring in this match, just early WCW ring in general, I guess, it fucking rocks, dude. The blue, black, and yellow ropes. Yeah, it's so sick. It's just classic.
I miss the unique color schemes like that for like promotions. Like,
dude, I had a dream. I don't know. It was a couple nights ago. I had a dream that I was watching wrestling where the mat was black, and I was like excited about it. That's how badly I miss creative fucking wrestling rings.
Yeah.
Are you echoing? Are you also hearing me?
No.
Fuck. I might be echoing. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. People in the chat, if you hear an echo, please let me know. I'll fucking fix it. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Sting starts this match by getting some work on Vader, gets some stuff over on Vader. He hits a suplex, a couple actually, and then he sends him over the top rope. And this is when you get to see Vader, like how great he was at the comeback and like making other guys look good. Because Sting is like all over him to start this match. Okay, sick. No echo. It's just me then. My bad. Eventually, Vader turns the tide, and there's just a fucking incredible Irish whip in this match. I don't know if you saw this, but Sting tries to shoot Vader towards the ropes, and they do like a full like rotation. Like they start on this side of the ring, and they when they rotate like the reverse Irish whip, like,
yeah.
Then I'm on the opposite side of the ring, and it looks so fucking good. Like Vader's weight, like it's such a small aspect.
Never seen. I've never like really seen that like ever before.
Bro,
before this,
it's so sick. I was like losing my mind over a fucking reverse Irish whip. That's how good it was. This is around when the match like really starts to take shape, though. Sting came out hot and caught Vader by surprise, but Vader eventually the power got the better of Sting. Vader put Sting into a scorpion deathlock, and you can tell at some point he just gets tired because he borderline like lets go of the hold. And as soon as Sting pushes up like even the slightest bit, he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, you got me."
You fucking got me. You got me.
You got it. Every once in a while, they take the shot from like right behind. This is the other shot I was talking about. Right behind Ron Simmons and Tony Schiavone.
Oh yeah.
And who are like in the crowd. It just looks so. It's like Vader and Sting are like blurred out a little bit, like they're out of focus, but it just looks so fucking sick. Sting has his comeback and he hits Vader with a DDT. Vader takes like a fucking incredible bump on it. The camera shot made it look like it was like kind of high angle, but it was just just a camera angle. There was a ref bump in this match, but it's at the era when refs weren't literal fucking China dolls. Because Nick Patrick is back within like seconds after getting kicked in the face to count the pin, which like finally, holy fuck. If only refs were not actual children nowadays. Sting hits a German suplex in this match that is fucking crazy.
Oh,
Vader gets up huge. Like he was jumping on this shit. It was crazy. I always love these Southern crowds. Like you can hear every time Sting like hits a splash or gets a punch, they do that. They're like signature, like, ugh! Like every time he hits it, it's WCW crowds were like, they did that a lot.
Where were they at for this show?
Let me check very quickly.
It might have been Atlanta. It might have been
Atlanta. It was Albany, Georgia.
Oh, Albany, Georgia. Yeah.
On the second Stinger Splash, he does like a series of them. On the second one, Sting hits his head on the ring post, and he starts fucking bleeding. Let's go. But it's like that might as well be the end of the match. Right after that, Vader hits a singular Vader bomb, and then wins the WCW World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. First of 3 times, I believe. I think. I'm pretty sure, at least.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he has one like long reign in '93. I think. Yeah, his third reign is the longest one. He loses it in December of '93 after winning it in March of '93. So pretty long reign. Did you like this match? How do you feel about it? I know you've seen it before, right? Like you said.
Yeah. I have seen the match before. This is like I haven't watched Surfer Sting like since, or Sting in general. I haven't watched Sting in general since he retired. Like I was doing a lot of like Sting watching like earlier this year and stuff like that. And I was watching a lot of Surfer Sting. I'm pretty sure it was this Vader match. If it wasn't, it was like one of like the other like 6 that they've had. Because they've had like fucking.
They've had a good amount of them.
Yeah. They've had a good amount of singles matches, and then
very good rivalry.
Yeah, and then they've also had tag matches, like Flair involved, and things like that. But it's right here, man. That stuff right here. There's that stuff right here. I obviously the entrance. Everyone Surfer Sting. It's like, man, it's
over like fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. Sorry, my mother's texting me. It's okay. But yeah, the fucking that Irish whip spot that you were talking about. Again, never fucking seen that. I don't know,
it's
and why is no one like really trying to take advantage of that, or like at least big men, like when they're
like
smaller guys
in a match like that, or like where there's like a great disparity in size. That's the kind of thing that like really like just sells it, sells the size of everybody in the match.
Yes.
When size is like taken into consideration that much, it's so sick.
So sick. And then even like you're like on the fucking German. Good Lord. Good grief. Good God.
Yeah.
It's like and like Sting, he's so like he's like, if it would be your first time watching Sting, you would think like he's like deceptively strong, because like he can like sometimes he can he can pick someone up and it's like with ease. I feel like with Vader, it was just like one of those things like just so you're just like, holy shit, like
it looked fucking crazy.
Yeah, this guy like Vader taking any type of like slam, suplex, anything, like it just looks insane, because he is just so fucking big, and you would not think that someone could get him off the ground. But hey, fucking happens. It fucking happens. I will say, like, going from like I didn't watch these in like chronological order. I was watching them in order like that that they were on the list.
Yeah.
So like I watched this after the other tag match that he was in. So it was a slowdown, but like
that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was like a slowdown in a fucking good way. I'm not gonna lie. It was a slowdown in a good way. This is like this is that American, like mainstream American wrestling that like I'm like kind of a fan of. So it was like this match, it worked for me. Vader is, he's him right here. He's brawling, Sting, babyface, doing all the just stuff that made each other good, and it just comes together in the match. Beautiful stuff from both of them.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I wish that they could have done a singles match in Japan. I feel like a singles match from them.
That would have been sick.
That would have been fucking sick.
That would have been sick. That would have been sick. There's a story of Sting talking to Vader, telling him like, "Listen, man, you do not need to beat the fuck out of me. Like, I'm gonna be there. I'll sell for you. That's basically what he's trying to tell him." And that doesn't that is like fairly obvious in this match, because Vader does not he gets some shots in, but he doesn't beat the shit out of him like he does in like other matches. Have you ever seen the Cactus Jack match between Vader and Cactus Jack?
Clips probably, but no, not the whole match.
Bro, Vader. To be fair, I do think that there's another story where Mick Foley was like, "Hit me," but he beats the shit out of him in that match. Like, it's fucking wild. But here it's like he still hits him, obviously, but it's not nearly as bad as like some of his other matches. It never looks like he's like shooting on him. I mentioned earlier that Vader was wrestling like Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody in his early years of the AWA, and it's very obvious when you watch him, because like he was clobbering people. There's another story, Harley, in his book, Harley Race. He talks about how he tried to have like a heart-to-heart with Vader about him working too stiff, basically telling him like, if he keeps working that way, he isn't going to have anyone that wants to fucking work with him, basically. And Vader didn't like that. So they ended up fucking grappling on the floor of their hotel room, like wrestling each other. Harley does say that it was like playful, but he was scared.
He's scared too. Fucking on the floor.
Yeah, man.
Forward Vader. Hold on.
Leon, big Leon,
big ass off of me.
Yeah. He would lose the title in December of '92 on a house show versus Ron Simmons. Vader, I mean, obviously. And then he would wait. No. What the fuck? I fucked this up. God damn it. No. Vader eventually lost the title, and then he would win it back. Is what I was trying to say. On a house show versus Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons would beat him, and then Vader would win it again later in the year in December. And then he would lose it to Sting on a house show in the home and native land of our friend Joel Hublot in March of '93. And then literally the next week, he beat Sting for it on another house show in Dublin. I believe his third reign, like I said, is his longest. March of '93 to December '93. Yeah. Now, while Vader is in that third title reign, he makes the jump from New Japan to UWFI as the WCW World Champion, who had WCW had a working relationship with New Japan at the time. So he jumped over as WCW World Champion in his first big time match in the company, his first bout with Nobuhiko Takada. He got tapped out by him, and he sells it like fucking crazy. Like he gets tapped as an arm bar. He's like writhing in pain, like screaming, and he's like holding it on something. I don't know. It's like some kind of pad or something on his way out of the ring. It's like a huge thing. It was a pretty big deal at the time because he's like, think about it. He jumped from New Japan to the Rebel Company while he was the champion of the company that had a working relationship with New Japan and got tapped out by New Japan's rival, Top God. That's fucking wild. That's crazy. So that was the first of 3 matches Takada had with Vader. And we catch up with Vader in August '94. The best of the world 1994 tournament final, Super Vader versus Nobuhiko Takada Part 2. This is also for the Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight title. Not to be hyperbolic, folks. I don't know exactly where this one ranks for me. It's not something I keep track of a lot. But this is a top 5 match I've ever watched. I'm dead fucking serious. I've watched it 3 times since I watched it for the first time. It's so fucking good. Like unbelievably so. The first portion of the match is like subtly centered around the fact that Takada can't knock Vader down at all. So subtly that it didn't like really click in my head that Takada hadn't knocked him down yet until it finally happened and the crowd went fucking bananas for it. They went crazy. Vader's selling of the kicks is fantastic. The way he like recoils back every time it's like a big upper body kick hits. But even like the low body kicks when Takada's like trying to cut him down is like raising his leg. It's so awesome. Like I said earlier, on paper, it's kind of ridiculous to think of a 450-pound man grappling with a guy the size of Takada. But as soon as they started, that thought was like flushed away. It was so good. I was captivated by it. Okay. Excuse me again. This is a weird comparison, but in like Hangman versus Swerve, the Texas Death Match, they like just kept pushing it like further and further with the violence, and it got to the point where it was like, all right, fellas, let's take this one home. But they just kept justifying it every time they would like push the envelope. That's how it felt here when Vader kept getting knockdowns on Takada with like the big ass lariats, and Takada just kept getting up over and over again.
Absolutely.
I was like ready for that to be the finish. I thought Takada was going to go down, and I was like slightly worried when it wasn't. But then you got like the big German suplex spot, and you got the Vader bomb spot, which I fucking loved because it was like it was like a shoot Vader bomb because it was like he had to like get him. He was
he fucking right. He just
so fucking good.
I thought that was the end of the match. I did thought that was the end of the match.
Yeah,
and then he got up. I was
like I know there's been power bombs in MMA, but it's Vader, so it's like still the Vader bomb. So it's like it's fucking wild. You got like the incredible heat when they essentially like recreated the lariat portion I was talking about a second ago, but just with like different clubbing blows instead. Takada like kept getting up. Dude, the crowd was. I have it right here. I'm not gonna lie. I almost got like a bit emotional because the crowd was so fucking loud, like so behind Takada. It's fucking insane. Like They love this guy. I'm pretty sure he's like the founder of UWFI. I'm pretty sure, or one of them at least. So like, he's incredibly over in this on this promotion. But it's a incredible fucking match. Vader wins via KO after like one last blow to the head. It was like a little underwhelming of a finish the first time I watched it, but I ended up watching it, like I said, like 3 more times, and I fucking love it now.
I like that he it literally like Takada was about to get up again. It was like 5. He was at the middle rope. He's going up 6, 7, just fucking drops down. I was like, oh my god.
Like, it's not a big spot, but like Vader delivered such a beating, and he was such a powerful fucking wrestler that any given blow to the head is what was going to take Takada out. Like that kind of thing is like, I was fucking. It's fucking awesome.
It's like watching a fucking like a boss fight from a fucking Dark Souls game, because it's like you have this character that's like, okay, he can do all these attacks and hundreds, probably 50, 60, 70 attacks, and the fight still isn't over. But this big guy, he can hit you 1, 2 times.
Yeah,
and you're done.
You're done.
You're out for the night. You lost the title. And this match, it's like a boss fight, but in wrestling, like wrestling MMA form. It's so sick. It's so sick. Yeah.
But then like you add the element of Takada's already beat Vader.
Exactly. You add the element.
So it's fucking crazy. Man. It's so good.
And
you can go ahead and talk about it.
So like I don't have context on like none of this. I'm just watching these matches straight up. I've never seen Takada before. I know the name, of course, but never watched the matches. So in the entrances, I can already tell he's an important guy. He has this nice ass silver silk robe. I was like, oh my god, this shit is crispy. Oh my lord. Takes it off. He has this fucking pastel purple gear on. I'm like, yeah, this guy might be serious. He might be interested. This lavender looking gear on. I'm like, yeah, this guy might be serious. This guy might be the truth. Because all the guys who wear like certain colored, like just trunks, nothing on them. They're Kobashi, Jun, Sao wore the bright green. Kawada had the bright yellow with the black. Like just
dude, very random. I'm sorry. Takada had like, it was like kind of like violet colored stuff and like gear. And in their third match, Vader's gear is like the red and then like a strip of the violet and then black. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking sick. That's so sick, bro. That fucking rules. It's so beast.
Insane. So you adding the context of like the first match, he went off the armbar.
Yeah. Makes
sense to me because like I want to say like 4 to 5 minutes in the match, Takada gets an armbar like somewhere, and the crowd is like, the match has been ended. What the
they
fuck?
did the exact same thing in the third match.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's because I was like, why are they popping for the armbar like that? Like that's insane. But now saying that he fucking won off the armbar in the first match, that's like, okay, yeah, I like that. But out of the gate, like I wasn't getting like a huge like heel face presence, and it didn't hit until like when Vader did a fucking closed fist, like directly, like they were on the ground. He had him like a side headlock on the ground, and then he just punched him like directly in the forehead. And then the crowd started going. They were like, "What the fuck is this guy doing? What the fuck? Like, what are you doing? You just punched the face of this fucking company, you piece of shit." And then it was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about." And then that's exactly where, like, I went from, oh, okay, this crowd like really likes Takada to, oh, they want this guy to fucking kill Vader. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like they were really, really under Takada here. And again, my first time seeing Takada, I didn't really know, like, of course I'm familiar with UWF, but I didn't know like what he in particular did. And I can see that he's kind of like he's like this like techie kickboxer type. He did lots of kicks. He loves his kicks.
That's pretty much what all of UWF was, to be honest.
I was gonna say like there was like a few exceptions like Vader, but that will come in, and do some things. But techie kickboxers, like, so yeah, the leg kicks. I'm like, me being a Sierra Shibata fan, I'm enjoying it because like I love me some good kicks. And Vader, as you said, he's selling the kicks like they're supposed to be fucking sold. Selling the kicks like they're supposed to be fucking sold. And it's
so good.
A fucking divine meal, if you will. It is just great how they're just working this match. I'm not even that big on like the very, very shoot style stuff, like where it really looks like a fight throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
And like this was one of those matches, and like I fucking enjoyed it. Like this is.
I completely forgot to even fucking mention. Meltzer quote retweeted one of my tweets about this match. And was saying that Vader and Takada before this match agreed like they would go 70% on each other, which is hilarious because again they were kicking the fuck out of each other. Real quickly, Novi's here.
Hey, Big Man Novi.
He's at a Renaissance Festival. It's going good, brother. Thank you for asking. Thank you for showing up. We did get to the real. That's very true. But yeah, man, fucking a shoot style Vader like deep dive is gonna happen sometime soon. For me, at least. Speaking of deep dive, Vader's fucking career took a deep dive when just under 2 years later, he would decide to sign with the World Wrestling Federation.
Woo!
Vince did not know how to fucking use this guy. He thought Vader like really, really needed to lose weight. I'm not fucking around. This is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in history of professional wrestling. Vince and Jim Ross decided to send Vader and Yokozuna to a weight loss camp because Vader kept getting injured. And they thought that it was because of his weight. But when Vince and Jim got the report back of their first week, they had gained weight because they were sneaking out at night to go get chicken. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, shit.
Jim Ross is quoted as saying he wishes they got Vader before the damage of Japan really got to Vader, which is hilarious, given that Vader's godly All Japan run came after the WWF. But neither here nor there, I guess. In the WWF was when Vader would attack a Kuwaiti journalist because he asked if wrestling was fake. Apparently, it was agreed upon by the producers that they would do this, and they pitched it to Vader, but they didn't tell the actual like host of the show. Oh, shit. So Vader did it, but then the host was like, "I'm gonna fucking sue you." And bro, fucking Taker's podcast, it sucks, but this story killed me. Oh, they left, and then the Kuwait's army, whatever the fuck, they came to arrest Vader, and they had him in cuffs, and they were taking him away, and Vader was like, he looked at Taker and was like, "What the fuck do I do?" And Taker was like, "You really did it, brother. You protected the business." Like, let's let him get arrested.
Bro.
It's fucking insane. Anyways, the point is, Vader and the WWF are not a great match. They catch up with Vader 2 years later, like 2.5 years. February 16th, 1997. WWF In Your House 13, Final Four. Vader versus The Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. Huh? Well, if you're talking about the band, no. Anyways, I was talking for people. Anyways, before the match, Jim starts talking about the Spanish and French commentary teams. Did you see this? Lawler says, "What does lucha libre mean?" Kill yourself.
Literally wrote in my notes, "I hate Lawler."
Yeah. What a fucking idiot. Vader makes his way to the ring, and I completely forgot that Vader was managed by Paul Bearer for like a very brief period of time. Like very brief. During his entrance, they explained the rules for the rules for this match. It's your usual 4-way match, except there's no DQ, and there's the over the top rope, like Royal Rumble rules basically. If you get thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor, then you're eliminated. The story behind that, I believe, is because Bret eliminated Steve Austin at the Royal Rumble the month previously. And then Austin walked into the ring and eliminated Taker and Vader, and then eliminated Bret Hart. And for some reason, they just allowed that, so Austin won the Rumble, even though he had. Anyways, excuse me. All right, folks. This match is kind of a mess, to be quite honest, both in a good way at times and a bad way. Very early on in this match, Taker kicks a chair into Vader's face and splits his eye open.
That shit made me fucking. I was like,
and it's bad too.
Yes,
the blood is bad. You can see it immediately.
Yeah, it's fucking fucked.
And like from that point on, Vader just looks. I wouldn't be surprised if he was concussed. Like at that point on, he's just lost like multiple times. His bloody eyes like blocking his eyesight, especially during the brawl with Austin at ringside. Psycho Sid's watching backstage. He's getting very mad at the extremely uneventful pro wrestling that's happening on his television. It cuts to him a couple times throughout the match, and he's just livid. I know it isn't Vader, but Bret hit Steve Austin with an unbelievable pile driver in this match. It looks so good. Right after Vader does the moonsault, Taker rolls out and bro, he lands so bad. The ring does not. This ring is a hellscape. It does not budge at all. I don't know the exact number of times he did it, but I'm pretty sure Vader, like a Vader salt in the WWF was like pretty rare. He only did it a couple of times. I think he only landed it once. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't figure out where, but at some point Vader's mask is like halfway on, and he's a fucking wreck here, bro. He's like stumbling around. The mask is like lifted up on this part of his head. And he's
Jesus.
Like walking around. Eventually, again, he just rips it off like in every other match. The first elimination comes when Stone Cold Steve Austin gets thrown out by Bret over the top rope. Bret superplexes Vader, and again, I mean, just a hellish bump. Excuse me. Jim Ross screams, "That sounded like an air collision by 747s."
Jim Ross is so fucking funny, bro. Jim Ross, bro. Like, throughout this match, there's like multiple things that's making me like crack up during this. Is Jim Ross, Vader bleeding, his mask. When him and Bret Hart went to like the fucking audience, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this shit is just.
It's fucking hilarious, bro. He's so good back there. He probably had like the best run of any commentator ever. Like,
I mean, yeah,
from the 80s to the 90s to like early to mid 2000s, he is fantastic. And then he had like the New Japan stuff, which like it's not all good, but a good portion of it's like pretty fucking good. Vader gets eliminated when he tries to go for a Vader bomb, and like Taker sets up, hits Vader in the cock, and he flies over the top rope. Excuse me. And then the finish comes a few minutes later when, again, Steve Austin already eliminated. He distracts Bret and Taker, and then Bret lariats Taker over the top rope. I think this match is like a good encapsulation of Vader's WWF run. It's pretty uneventful at best, messy and outright hard to watch at worst. They just never did anything with the guy because they thought that he was fucking washed and fat. A fat piece of shit, if you will, which is the promo that they had him cut at Over the Edge when he said, "I'm so big,
so big."
Again, like I mentioned, that's a hilarious like conclusion to come to when you see Vader in 97, and then when you see him in All Japan in 98, he is an absolute fucking menace. Very quickly, I'm gonna go blow my nose, so feel free to talk about this match all you want, brother.
Okay, man, this match I have written in my notes, man. This match it screams hate. I don't know what it is about these four individuals, and I was trying to find the right description for like the type of hate that these four encapsulate. But this match, the way they're fighting, it screams hate, and not like a Hangman Swerve hate, but it's just like I don't like you. I want to beat your fucking ass. And like every every combination in this match of people fighting, it just hate. It's just hate. I was saying that the match, it screams hate. Like to me, it just feels like
a lot of brawling.
Something about these four people in particular is like you have different types of haters in this match, and you just put them all in one ring. You're like, yeah, find it out, bro. Figure it out. There wasn't too much like I don't think Brett did any Brett stuff outside of the pile driver in this match. I don't think he did like any like techie.
Yeah, I don't
any,
not really. It didn't really call for it either, you know.
Yeah. It didn't, and I was like, hey, brawling Bret Hart, I'll take it. I'll take it. I was confused about the over the top stip. Like, why are we doing it? But you just explained it, so I mean, like, cleared up for me. Vader getting cracked open. That shit was so funny to me. That shit was. I was dying at that because he grabbed the chair and then he swung it at the ring post at first. I'm pretty sure, and he missed. I think, but then Taker fucking kicked it, and then I was like, oh, he fucking kicked it, and he got up, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? This match, like, obviously, I'm obviously not the biggest Fed fan, but even for this, fucking clusterfuck, I like this. If they did 4-ways like this now, I'd be like, yo, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, like I think 4-ways now are like just a little too like
they overcomplicate them sometimes.
They're overcomplicated, but they're also like too what's the word I'm looking for? It's like it's just too well put together. This is like a clusterfuck, and it's supposed to be. There's 4 guys in the ring trying to fuck each other up. Makes sense that it would like not be like a super uniform match, you know?
I mean, like a lot of first off, you don't even see like right now with people who even like to brawl, you rarely even
choreograph. It's like too choreographed nowadays.
Yeah. Like right now, you rarely even see guys who want to brawl in like multi-man matches like this, like for example, like Mox in AEW, like before he took his break and stuff like that. Like you would rarely see him in like a fatal, like a 4-way or a triple threat match. It was always like a singles or a tag match. So for it to be like 4 people who just want to brawl like this, this is pretty sick.
Yeah,
pretty sick, pretty cool.
Ray also had a couple of interesting points. Austin messed his knee up in this match.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to win, but he changed the finish. I didn't know that. They were supposed to change.
He messes. I'm pretty sure he messed his knee up when he went over the top rope, but didn't go like to the bottom. He hit his knee on the apron and he was holding it. I also see the comment that or not on here, but somewhere else that's the reason he had the brace at WrestleMania 13 is because he fucked his knee up in this match.
That makes sense. This was February.
Yeah.
And then I assume Mania was either the next month or April. Ray also mentions Vader was supposed to, that we talked about a second ago.
Yeah, he's sent to the clinic.
We talked about the story of him and Yokozuna going, and then the first week they fucking gained weight because they were sneaking out to get fast food. Dude, hilarious. So yeah, Vader would leave the WWF not too long after this, and then in '98 ended up in All Japan Pro Wrestling, and we meet him in late '98, the finals of the Real World Tag League on December 5th. Jun Akiyama and Kenta Kobashi versus Stan Hansen and Big Van Vader in the fucking Budokan. 16,300 people in attendance. Oh, baby. 2 notes about this show. This is '98, keep in mind.
Yeah.
Marufuji works the opening tag on this show. Naomichi Marufuji. Just 4 months into his career.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Okay. I went on a deep dive, okay? The video starts with all the tag teams in the ring.
Yeah.
You get some big names, obviously. Yeah. The participants of the match, Akira Taue, Kawada, Headhunters, which popped me, Masawa and Ogawa, Omori and Takayama. But during the recap of the tag league, they showed Takayama tapping out a rather large man. And for half a second, I thought, is that fucking Mark Henry? But obviously, this was '98. I'm pretty sure he's either doing strongman stuff or he's employed by the WWF at the time. I'm pretty sure he's in WWF. So I went searching. This was a man that went by Kamala 2. And I was like, is this like Kamala's son? Is this his brother? No. It was just another random fat black guy that promoter stuck with Kamala. He was an indie guy in Georgia. He worked ECW under the name Uganda. Just Uganda.
Just Uganda.
And as of 2020, he was a sheriff's deputy in southern Georgia. So, if anyone was curious about Ben Peacock, also known as Uganda.
Ben Peacock. Okay.
Also known as Uganda. Or in Kamala 2. There you go. Anyways, the actual match.
What the fuck?
These people are fucking hot, brother. This crowd is on one. Kobashi is, I mean, holy fuck. Just the ultimate babyface here. That short little stare down with Vader and Kobashi is like fucking riveting content, genuinely. Holy fuck. They're a huge focus in this match. And they end up having a match a month later, a little over a month later, at the beginning of 99. That is fantastic. Probably my favorite of their matches together. I think they had like 4 singles matches, that is. Vader and Kobashi kick it off. They get us going very quickly. They lock up, and Kobashi says, fuck that. Throws some chops, and Vader blocks one after a couple and just clobbers him. And then fucking throws the V up, brother.
Oh, wait, yeah. Fucking, I did fucking say Hanson thing. I don't know why.
He's such a beast. Hanson tags in. They start beating up on Kobashi. Vader throws like a fucking fucked up jab on him. Akiyama tries to jump in, and Vader just hits a big ass lariat, bro. Huge. He turns around like right in time. It's so sick. Hanson and Kobashi work on each other for a bit. Kobashi tags in Akiyama, and Hanson bitches him.
Yeah.
They take a... It's hilarious. This match is like a pretty long squash, essentially. There's a couple, like a bit of a comeback, but then the end, the finish. We'll get into it in a second. But Akiyama gets some slapping on Hanson. Gets some slaps in on Hanson, but obviously Hanson takes over quick. Big slaps, drives him into his thigh, and then DDTs him. Vader gets in. Akiyama, incredible underdog babyface. This is like pretty, not like too early on, but pretty early on in his career as well. He's pretty young here. Vader gets in, and Akiyama goes on the attack. Tries to give him with a suplex and lifts him up a couple times. Vader just fucking puts all of his weight down and squashes Akiyama. Vader again takes his mask off, and the crowd pops as if it was like a luchador taking off their mask, and they're like horrified.
He throws
such a thing. Yeah. Kobashi gets back in, and there's like a long heat segment where Vader and Vanson, holy shit, Vader and Hanson, just kill him. Vader chops him at one point, which is like, Vader didn't like chop that much. To be totally honest, he was not, because he always had like the MMA gloves, Yeah.
Gloves on,
Hanson gets in and sends Vader to Kobashi in the corner for a big splash, and Kobashi sells it like fucking death. I'm trying to look at my notes here. Sorry. Kobashi tags in Akiyama, and there's like a bit of a comeback. But then Vader gives him a fucking hellacious German suplex.
Oh yeah, that shit is nasty.
Like, and it's like a complete ragdoll bump from Akiyama too. Like, he just took it all on his neck. It was crazy. Around this time was like when the crowd really, really starts to get. They're obviously into it before, but now they're like really fucking into it. Almost like every pin gets a huge reaction. It's like a 10-minute finishing sequence as well. Vader gets Akiyama in the corner and slaps the fuck out of him a couple of times. And then Hanson and Vader hit their finish, which is like a Vader bomb. But Hanson grabs his shoulders and like slams him down. And then I assume they start to set up Kobashi for what I assume would have been like Hanson's lariat. But you can start like at this point you can hear the crowd like slowly start to rise and like heat up again. And they take this like incredible camera shot again on the ring post, but it's like above it. And Akiyama's climbing to the top rope, And right as he jumps off to hit Hansen with a knee, Kobashi throws Vader out, lariats Stan Hansen, and pins him. A very quick finish.
Very quick.
But super heated matchup. Like, incredible underdog performance from Akiyama and Kobashi. And the crowd was just, like, incredibly invested. Like, erupted when they won, dude. I love this match so much. I don't think I'd ever seen it before. I've seen a lot of Kobashi and Vader stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen this match. How'd you feel about it?
Man, I was excited to get into this match. I was waiting for this match, but I'm like just starting from the entrances. This is like this style of presentation is probably my favorite presentation in like all of wrestling. I love the camera shots of, the wrestlers like right before their entrances. They're back there, they're standing in. They're like, all right, let's go. And then they walk out there, and whenever the camera follows them, and it's like right behind them, you see the crowd, you see the lights. It's just all fucking
beautiful.
Good. It's great. So like when they start out with Kenta in June, they got these fire ass burning shirts on. Oh my Jesus God. Fucking Christ.
Listen, stash pages, mid-card merch, whichever one. Those are the only two people I buy merch from, bootleg stuff. I need y'all to fucking reprint some of these fucking old All Japan like jackets and shirts and shit. Please.
That burning shirt is fucking fire. The orange and the blue, and then it goes with the gears because Kenta was wearing the orange, June was wearing the blue. It was so good. Again, I love these gears. If I was a wrestler, I don't care what era, if I was a wrestler, that orange Kenta gear that he has on right here, I'd probably wear it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's so good. Kobashi's gear throughout his career is just fucking it.
Yeah, because then he would change to like the black and purple, and it was like
the black, like it looked like purple outlining flames, and then he had the big black coat. Oh my god,
that was sick.
That shit was so sick. But this gear is great. And then they go to Vader and Stan in the back, and Vader and Stan right here. When I'm looking at them, to me, this might sound crazy, but to me, they're like when I type this comparison, I literally laughed for like 10 minutes. I said Vader and Stan is like Biker Taker and Kane, but if they were amazing at wrestling. Because I was like, you have this guy that's like basically like a fucking cowboy. He's like his gimmick is like a cowboy, and then you have this Vader guy who's like a fucking monster, basically. And comparing that to Biker Taker and Kane, who's a guy who's a fucking biker, redneck biker, and Kane's some monster from hell or some demon, whatever. It's like it's just so fucking funny because it's like the comparison is there, but it's just one team is just way better at fucking wrestling. They're both cool, but it's just these guys are just on another level. And Stan retires in 2000, so this is like very late career Stan. This is very.
I was reading some message board stuff, and they were talking about like this is. I didn't realize how late this was in.
I didn't either.
And like the fact that he was involved in something like this, great and this moving, this late in his career, it's fucking wild, man.
Insane. During the entrances, bro. Vader comes out. He's flinching. You fucking Vader fucker. And then and then saying he has fucking cowbell out there. He's holding it. He's rolling around. He turns around. Yeah, he just fucking hits someone. I was like, holy shit, he's gonna hit someone with a fucking bell. Just super sick stuff. They get in the ring. They're doing the introductions. Here's when I realized that it's probably late in his career because he did his taunt and everyone in Budokan did the taunt. I was like. Hold on, he must be really over here. And look, I'm like, yo, retires like less than 2 years after this.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because again, this is late 90.
Yeah.
December 5th.
And like I was thinking about because I was like, damn, he probably retired when Misawa and Kobashi left because they all left in 2000.
Makes sense. That makes sense. I'm gonna check that actually. Go ahead.
Because like Noah started in 2000 and he retired in 2000. So I only think that like he probably retired a little bit before or retired like a little bit after it happened. I feel like after they went defunct. But yeah, this match, you know, this is I love Stan Hansen. I love Kobashi. Obviously, I love June as well. June is wrestling tonight, so it's fucking crazy. It's so fucking crazy to fucking think about. Like, you know, like, just wrestling's great. Again, late career standing, he's cool, and he can still just go out there and does what he needs to do. Like, this is, if I all the people who's like retired, like, there's not too many people who could say they had like this great of a match this late in their career.
Yeah.
Stan started wrestling in like 1972. Like, this is this is insane. He started in NWA, and then like within like 6 to 7 years, he was in Japan. He did New Japan. He did All Japan. Like, there's not too many people, especially in America, who can say that their last years they could have a match this good, a tag match is good with this amount of talent in there, and they could like keep up with this talent and just, you know, feel like they're actually making a difference still in their career. And Stan was able to do that right here. Like the first like section of this match, it started off, Kenta was like, he was getting his shit on Stan. He tags out. Stan starts beating the shit out of Jun Akiyama. That shit was so fucking funny to me. Because like the team had the advantage, and then Jun gets in and he just starts getting his shit pummeled. I was, oh my god, like, wow, this is great.
Fantastic.
This is fantastic. You wrote down like a lot of spots in the match. The double powerbomb, I didn't realize that was their finisher. I seen Stan calling for it. He was like, yeah, you know, do the come on, let's do it. And I was like, okay, this might be their finisher. And that show was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, double powerbomb, but grabbing on the shoulders is like, that's Jesus Christ. That's right. Because I'm so used to seeing people do like, they like go from the legs. Like, both people will go from the legs. And go down with it. But the grabs that one and it just yoinked them down like that. That shit is so
simple, but it works.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. I loved it. And then the fucking finish itself, like, it was definitely sudden, but like when I think about it, like, it makes sense. Because Jun Akiyama is like, his regular running knee is his finisher. The regular running knee is his finisher. So him doing a diving one to the back off guard, doing a diving knee and then into a Kobashi burning lariat. Like, it's like, that makes sense. That's that actually makes sense. So match, but I want to talk about the fucking post match, because the post match is fucking funny to me.
Vader and Stan are like beating the fuck out of him. Out of Jun Akiyama and Kenta Kobashi, and they just like walk out like the coolest dudes of all time.
They beat the shit out of them, taunt, hey, out of there. They
get
their shit, they leave. That shit is so sick. I love when people do post match beatdowns, just fucking taunt. It's like, yeah, I fucking did that shit, bitch.
And they just walk out.
Just walk out in the crowd. Like, that shit fucking amazing.
I looked it up. Stan announced his retirement in January of 2001, which would have been like 6 months after the Exodus.
Okay.
Obviously, all Japan didn't know it. Because the Exodus took place over like 2 months. Okay. So it wasn't like a big thing. It was like
people just gradually
people gradually leaving over like a period of time, and then anyways, that's it.
Holy shit.
That was Cagematch Chronicles, Big Van Vader. Obviously one of the best big men in the history of professional wrestling. The best big man in my eyes, to be honest.
Yeah, sir.
The only wrestler ever to win both the Triple Crown and the IWGP Heavyweight title. That's crazy. That's wrestler ever, not just like Gaijin, like wrestler ever to do that. Extremely dynamic worker. He worked like literally every single style. It's kind of wild. Obviously had his drawbacks when it came to safety in the ring. Fucking paralyzed a guy one time. Temporarily, at least. He beat up on dudes and looked cool as fuck doing it,
Pretty fucking sick. Pretty sick guy.
So yeah, any last thoughts on Vader, brother?
I like I said, I already knew he was the man. I mean, to me, like, the two, like, in my opinion, the two best big men ever is Vader and Abyss.
Yeah.
And like I could only like dream of Abyss having a fucking Japan run. Like good
baby.
Lord.
2006 Abyss in like Noah. Bro.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck off.
Jesus.
Imagine Abyss versus Kenta.
Jesus Christ.
Oh baby.
Lord have mercy. Oh my God. And like also at the time, like Noah was doing stuff with New Japan. So if they want to do like Abyss versus Tana at the time.
Oh my God. Abyss versus like, when did Shibata start doing MMA? It wasn't he was still wrestling in 06, right? He had to have been.
Think so. I think he started in like 2008. I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Abyss versus fucking Shibata.
Fucking crazy.
Ridiculous.
Insane.
Anyways. Cagematch Chronicles Abyss. Hey now.
Hey.
Next month, however, we do have an update actually. Next month, we are changing it up a little bit. So
changing the game up, Grin Grapplers. Be on watch, all right? Be on fucking watch, all right? Watch how it's done, all right?
Okay, whoa, hold on. Jesus.
Calling the shots here.
So, Khalid came up with the idea. This isn't me. Instead of doing wrestlers, we could also do years, match types, sorting by like highest rated matches of this year, highest rated matches of this match type, highest rated matchup of this company, highest rated matches of this company, you know? So next month it is holy fuck, is Cagematch Chronicles 1988 is what it is. The matches are Genichiro Tenryu and Toshiaki Kawada versus Stan Hansen and Terry Gordy in December of 88, sorry. Tenryu versus Saruta in October of 88. Ashura Hara, who I'm not familiar with, and Tenryu versus Jumbo Saruta and Yoshiaki Yatsu in August of 88. Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane versus Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers in 88 is Jim Crockett, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then Antonio Inoki versus Tatsumi Fujinami in October of 88 as well. So that should be fucking sick. We're very excited. Racist. Chills. Tell me about it, brother. We're really changing the game up here. We're doing something that's never been done before. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, obviously like and subscribe, all that stuff. Comment. Tell us how you enjoyed it. If you have any critiques, just tell us. We don't have an ego. This will get better, obviously, in time. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Later.